You're watching This Week in Louisiana Politics with Fred Childers.
Good Sunday morning to you. I'm Fred Childers. Thanks for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Politics on your local election headquarters. Well, President Joe Biden made his way to Louisiana on Friday to see firsthand the extensive damage left behind by Hurricane Ida. The president arrived at the Louis Armstrong New Orleans airport, then met with local and state leaders at St. John Parish's Emergency Operations Center. President Biden then toured a hard-hit neighborhood in Laplace, Louisiana, before flying over the damage in Lafitte, Grand Isle, Port Fourchon, and Lafourche parishes. Senator Bill Cassidy thanked the president for coming, writing in part, quote, "We know from bitter experience with Hurricane Laura that aid can be delayed for too long." And like Senator Cassidy, residents of South Louisiana are waiting anxiously for that federal assistance, from the lack of gas to FEMA aid. Political reporter Shannon Hecht sat down with Cedric Richmond, the senior advisor to the president, ahead of Biden's visit to learn more. Take a look.
Cedric Richmond, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about, here in the recovery of Hurricane Ida, a big issue for us here in Baton Rouge and all around the state is getting gas. So what is kind of the White House doing right now?
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hurricane Ida's death toll rose on Thursday when it was announced that 4 nursing home residents died after being transported to a warehouse in Tangipahoa Parish. We'll have the latest on the investigation after the break.
This is your local election headquarters.
Welcome back. 4 nursing home patients in Independence are dead after more than 800 people were moved to a warehouse facility ahead of Hurricane Ida. Families were left scrambling to find where their loved ones had been taken. JONAH Gilmore brings the details of this grim evacuation.
A tragic and devastating scene here in Independence. This facility right behind me has been evacuated with nursing home patients after 4 of them died and nearly a dozen more hospitalized.
It's my mom, in less than a year we lost 2 sisters and my dad, and she, with COVID, it's just been a very tough year.
Families of nursing home patients showed up to this facility frantic and in tears.
I had no clue. I thought they were coming to a nursing home.
Loretta Dewey and Bonnie Corinto were both inside Waterbury Company's warehouse, a shelter their family members call horrible.
We just recently learned of these conditions and how they were being treated on floors.
I was thinking they would have generators and backup stuff and their doctors and nurses, and of course they would be taken care of. Not this.
Tuesday, the Louisiana Department of Health got word that conditions were bad. When they attempted to inspect the place, they were kicked off the property.
Obviously, they have an obligation, legal, moral, and otherwise, to always provide safe and adequate conditions for their residents as best they are able to do.
According to Dr. Joe Cantor, 4 people died and more than a dozen are hospitalized. LDH confirming 3 of those deaths are storm-related.
There are just no words.
Families say their loved ones should have never been in these conditions.
I had no clue.
And the people responsible should face consequences.
I want us all to get together and find out where our loved ones are and make sure that they're taken care of. And quit paying the nursing homes that we just paid to be taking care of them that haven't done anything.
We're told those nursing home patients are being taken to facilities in Alexandria and throughout the greater Baton Rouge area. Reporting in Independence, JONAH GILMORE, back to you in studio.
Well, some of the nursing home residents were brought to the LSU Fieldhouse in Baton Rouge. Also, Attorney General Jeff Landry announced Friday that his office would be investigating, saying he wants to, quote, find out who decided to move these patients to this apparently unsafe and potentially inappropriate facility. Well, back to our Hurricane Ida coverage. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy toured some of the hurricane's hardest hit areas as the road to recovery is just beginning. Kennedy says Louisiana is strongly depending on federal aid to help recover from Hurricane Ida. Kennedy's biggest concern is getting Louisiana residents housing aid, something he says those affected by Hurricane Laura in 2020 still haven't received.
This storm was worse than Katrina. But I've personally been to the floor of the United States Senate twice to try to pass a bill giving aid to Southwest Louisiana. And twice the Democrats have voted against me.
Senator Kennedy says people need to apply for federal assistance as soon as possible, as this could be a weeks-long process. Well, the day after the storm made landfall, Senator Bill Cassidy and Congressman Garrett Graves toured the damage. They shared how they plan to bring relief to their home state. Shannon Hecht reports.
Barges pushed around the Mississippi, homes blown apart, and high water is what the senator and congressman found during their tour of the damage. They flew all the way down to the coast and back along I-10.
And in some areas, as you get further south into the wetlands, it was unclear what was wetlands and what was land, because the water was so high.
They say even though the storm has passed, it is still very much an active emergency. They say there are continuous search and rescue efforts going on around the state. With the president approving the major disaster declaration, the federal government will cover a lot of the emergency costs. The congressman says many areas are without power and are facing water pump issues. Meanwhile, communications have been a difficult part of locating loved ones.
And one of the things that seems to be complicating information right now is, as you know, we have major cellular networks that are down, internet's down in a lot of communities, and so I know that both of our offices have received a lot of phone calls about folks that are out of communication or missing right now.
They have been in close contact with the White House and FEMA on what comes next for recovery.
Both of them promise that they're going to do whatever they can on Capitol Hill and also here in Louisiana to make sure that people get the help that they need. In Baton Rouge, I'm Shannon Hecht. Back to you.
And President Biden's major disaster declaration opens the government's checkbook and promises to help homeowners get back on their feet. And we'll show you how next.
This is your local election headquarters.
Welcome back. The president signed a major disaster declaration which opens up people in several parishes to FEMA aid. Rachel Riley has details on how you can sign up.
If you were impacted by Hurricane Ida and looking to repair damages, there's relief money available. Better Business Bureau President Carmen Millian says insurance is a great way to get started.
When you have a disaster, your insurance agent is probably the first and most important person that you need to speak with. You need to find out what the requirements are, what you need to do in order to file your claim.
She says taking pictures of the damage can make or break a claim.
They're going to send out an adjuster, and you may have to make some decisions to save your property, but you want to make sure you have documentation to show that proof of what actually happened.
After filing a claim with your insurance, FEMA Representative Nate Custer says you may also be eligible for federal assistance to help cover costs.
What we want to do is try to make your home safe, secure, and functional so that you can continue living in it, or you can get back into it.
After the disaster happens, you have 60 days to register.
People who apply will get a call back from a FEMA inspector because of roads being blocked, and we have COVID-19 that we've been dealing with here for a year and a half. The inspector may very well do the virtual inspection.
You can apply by phone, on the FEMA app, or online. Rachel Riley, Fox 44 News.
And speaking of recovery, a program is now in place that will give those who were displaced by Hurricane Ida a place to stay. According to Governor John Bel Edwards, FEMA approved his request to activate the Transitional Sheltering Assistance, or TSA, program. Governor Edwards says the short-term housing will help thousands of people in the state, writing in part, quote, "Housing was a critical shortage before the storm, and that problem has been exacerbated as a result of the widespread damage. I want to encourage everyone who needs assistance to apply immediately." And if you have damage to your roof and need it covered before more rain comes, the Army Corps of Engineers wants to help. The Blue Roof program has been revived. Operation Blue Roof will provide homeowners in a disaster area with fiber-reinforced sheeting, and that's the recognizable blue tarps you often see. They'll cover the damaged part of a roof, making the home inhabitable while permanent repairs are made. You can apply at blueroof.us. Political leaders are making calls to the federal government to speed up their relief aid to southeast Louisiana, but also to bring help to the Lake Charles area that is still recovering from Hurricane Laura. The mayor of Lake Charles gives us insight to what could be coming in the recovery efforts. Chris Welty reports.
As the people of southeast Louisiana are in desperate need of help, many want to offer aid any way possible. Lake Charles Mayor Nick Hunter knows firsthand following 2 major hurricanes last year.
There is the splintering effect where you have hundreds of people doing hundreds of different things. That can be less efficient and less effective than a smaller group trying to coordinate and use a maximum efficiency for the resources that are out there.
Hunter says municipalities should delegate and coordinate with nonprofits to make sure immediate needs are taken care of. He adds cash donations to a well-vetted, trustworthy nonprofit can sometimes go further.
It may be water and food and diapers that are needed today. It may be medicine, a wheelchair, a generator, a window unit that's needed tomorrow or the next week.
Governor John Bel Edwards says more federal aid is coming. The immediate need is housing, not only for survivors of Hurricane Ida, but those in southwest Louisiana following Hurricanes Laura and Delta.
The nation is focused on Louisiana right now for Ida, and we're going to take advantage of that and see if we can't turn that into a very speedy appropriation in Congress.
Right now, our family in southeast Louisiana needs more immediate attention than we do. When people are displaced, they need resources, and we want to help. We want to help our brothers and sisters in southeast Louisiana because we've been there, and also it's the right thing to do.
That was Chris Welty reporting. Up next, we'll have a look at the week ahead on your local election headquarters. Stay with us. No. I was saying bye.
This is your local election headquarters.
Welcome back. Looking ahead to the coming week, we expect to hear more from the Louisiana delegation and the governor in the ongoing recovery efforts from Hurricane Ida. We will bring you the latest on what you need to know to build your life and communities back strong. In the meantime, stay safe, be kind, and check on your neighbors, check on your family. Let's get through this together. Thanks for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Politics. I'm Fred Childers. I'll see you next Sunday.